All right, try 2 here. It grabbed the wrong screen before. There we go. Let's see if we have audio. And we do. Excellent. Alrighty, live, only 2 minutes late. Live from Cabot, Arkansas. This is Answering Your Financial Questions with Coach Steve Money. It is Saturday afternoon, so happy to be here with you. Coach Steve Money, youtube.com/Coach Steve Money for more financial content. If you scroll down just a little bit on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, you'll see this show, Answering Your Financial Questions with Ramsey Solutions Certified. It's Coach Steve Money, that is me. And right now we're doing episode number 104 of this stream. Then it's the music playlist. There are 9, soon to be 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, including You Belong Debt Free, You Belong Debt Free. And so enjoy those. And also the Ramsey Show After Show. And that one is 377 episodes. And the next one will be in the teens. I think one of the days between July 15th and 19th. I will announce that as soon as possible. And of course, this stream, Answering Your Financial Questions, is 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturdays and Sundays. All right, let's dive right into the questions. Simpson, fine last name, 227. Saved by the Song. Bought my first new vehicle for myself at age 47 Wednesday in baby step 7, so calm down, okay? Well, I mean, the age doesn't matter, the step doesn't matter, you have to be a millionaire. As far as Dave Ramsey's advice for being able to handle the depreciation of a brand new vehicle. So if you're a millionaire, fine. Let's continue. Replacing a 20-year-old car that I drove for the past 7 years, okay? In the finance office, completing the deal, and the guy was doing an amazing sales pitch for the extended warranty. Of course they are. Hopefully you weren't financing it. Hopefully paying cash. I truly respect a good salesperson, okay? I told him I didn't buy extended warranties because of Dave Ramsey. His face literally flashed anger. He kept going. And I was actually second guessing myself when Baker Street started playing in the hall outside the office. Do 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 do. The song helped me stay strong. Left without extended warranty, gap insurance, tire insurance, paint protection, and a couple other things. This is why you don't buy from a dealer if you cannot all help it. You probably do have to do that buying a brand new vehicle, though. Used a bunch of negotiating skills I learned over the years. I got $3,000 plus off a new Toyota Tacoma. Alrighty. But yeah, I mean, I don't myself understand people like that, you know. I mean, if you decide in advance you're not doing that, it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what their opinions are about what you're doing with your financial situation. So yeah, you just got to stay strong always, whether or not the song, you know, plays or not. If you got to have that, you might want to put that on your phone and just tap it. But yeah, I mean, literally flashing anger, they want to make money there. And so they're going to try to make money. An insurance salesman is going to try to sell you whole life insurance because it makes them more money. And so you got to expect that. All right, from Wahida, gifts, birthdays, holidays, other events slash commitments you can't get out of. You can get out of anything you want to get out of. Again, goes back to the other one. It doesn't matter what other people think. You get to make your own decisions. And, maybe read Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. As far as boundaries between family and friends, that kind of thing. Yeah, here we go. When I say quote unquote can't get out of, I mean you technically could, right? You just don't go, and there you go. In the end, let's see what's the rest. But that would either be rude or you just don't want to do that for sentimental reasons. Example, Mother's Day, kid's birthday. I generally have a budget for things like lunch with coworkers, etc. But how do you tackle if your kid is invited to a birthday or Mother's Day? I know Ramsey says to learn to say no, exactly, but sometimes it's not all that easy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's not forever. It's just while you're on baby step 1, 2, or 3. Steps 1, 2, and 3, you limit all kinds of expenses like that. So guess what? If you can afford the gas, guess what? You can go to a birthday. You can go to a holiday. You might not want to send your child to another child's birthday party without a gift. So maybe that kid doesn't get to go that year. But it's not forever. And so you just got to make up your mind what is the important thing for you to do to better your financial situation, or for you to do the socially accepted thing. I don't give a crap about that. Your financial situation is more important than that. And so, but Mother's Day, you can go see your mom without a gift. And you can even break it down. You can even say, I'm not buying anything for anybody this year because I'm paying off my dumb, stupid debt that I got into. So I'm fixing my situation. So apologies. I will make it up to you next year. So, I mean, that's up to, and people in general, I think, care too much what other people think. Well, I'm expected to do that. Who gives a crap? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You get to make your own decisions. So, okay, for people in your family, I understand if your kid is all of a sudden invited to another kid's birthday one day before it's going to happen. I get that. You wouldn't know about that, and so you don't get to go to that probably. But Mother's Day is the same day every year. So if you need to buy a gift for that, that needs to be budgeted. There's no excuse for not having that budgeted on May 1st. In the May budget, that should be in there if you are going to be spending money on that. Same thing with Christmas, holidays, other events, etc., etc. You have time in advance to do that. And if you don't, that's probably a no for me, dog. So yeah, you get to decide what you do with your time and with your money, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. Read Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Firm Garlic, 1638, 35K debt, feeling insurmountable. That's not insurmountable. That's not insurmountable. Drama Queen, let's see, 22K in student loans at 5 to 6.8, doesn't matter the percentage. 8,300 in personal loans, doesn't matter the percentage. 3,000 in zero balance transfer, make about 55K a year. 330 net monthly expenses. 170 car insurance. Right. 220 food a month. What is that? That you might be able to cut that a little bit. 254 loan, 136 health insurance, 133 student loans, 100 rising cars, not in great position but paid off. That is great. Approximately 4,000 in checking. You doing it wrong. This says save $1,000 as fast as possible. It doesn't say plus keep another $3,000 in checking on top of that. It does not say that there. That would be going towards your debt, and so you would only be 32,000 in debt now. So you may, by just doing that, you have to do, now you got to do some drastic stuff to get drastic results, but it's not insurmountable. Living at home, that means with mommy and daddy. So where's the money going? Where's the other money going? Let's see. 330, so let's see where it's all going. 100, 233, 369, 569, 523, 743, 812, 912. That's 912 there, dog. All your expenses. Where's the rest of the 3,300 going? So that is the problem. Do a budget. Big part of baby step 0 is do a budget. Tell your money where to go. So this again does not even equal $1,000 that you have right now, or just over. I forgot what I just said. But yeah, this is not enough expenses to do that. And so the rest of it probably just being, same thing, eating out, that kind of thing. Spending, going out with friends a lot. Yeah, all that needs to go bye-bye. So that's why it's insurmountable, because you keep spending money on stupid stuff instead of paying off your stupid debt instead. So there you go. Any advice on how to tackle this debt quickly would be appreciated. Yeah, that's how you do it. You find out where the other freaking $2,300 of your net income is going to per month. So, I mean, and he didn't say everything there. He didn't say like gas or anything like that. So, he did say how much he spends in food though. So would need a little bit more. There's definitely some other expenses, but I don't think they're going to be $2,300. I think that money is not going towards debt. And that money has to go to debt during baby step 2. But you're doing it wrong. Obviously needs to listen to the forthcoming song, How to Do the Baby Steps Right. And that is save chest $1,000 as your start emergency fund in baby steps 1. And you do not have an extra $3,000 in your checking. Now, the time that you would have more than $1,000 in your checking account is if that's where you keep your $1,000 for the emergency fund. And also, you need extra money to get you to the next paycheck. And so, a lot of people confused about that. The every dollar budget, or the $0 budget, doesn't mean that you have a $0 in your checking account at any given time. That means that like at once or maybe even twice a month, or however much you want, you can do it once a week if you want to. How often you send debt to extra money to your debts. And so, but you would not necessarily have $0 in your checking account at any time. But as far as if that's $4,000 in savings, you're only supposed to have one while you have debt. It's called the baby steps. Take a look at them. Firm garlic, 1638. But that's not insurmountable. That's fine. Retirement plan decision. Poor old guy 1. Okay. Where I work, the pension plan was sold to another place. In about a month, I have to make a decision on what I want to do. The pension was frozen in 2006. I'm 54 years old. I can get $34,533 paid out to me on October 1st. Either in going right until my 401k. I think that means either going right into my 401k or getting the cash, which will probably be like $20K after taxes and a 10% penalty. Yeah, you don't want to lose that, so I would just throw that right into the 401k instead. If that can be if that can be like all like no tax hit and no penalty either. So do not do the cash. Yeah, get that right in the 401k. Option 2, getting $190 starting on October 1st until I die. Option 3, do nothing and get my payout of what it would have been when I retire at 62 or later. Is $405 a month, right? And so this is Dave talks about pension not being as good as the market does, and it's not. That's why the amount that you contribute to your pension only costs half of the actual percent towards the 15% that you're supposed to invest of your gross income. And so, taking it out and putting it into the market is what you would normally do. But if you have the option to put it into a 401k without any taxes or penalty, you should probably do that. As long as the 401k, you're going to have good growth stock mutual funds that make more than the index in that is the idea. Because, 54, you still got a good, you could do depending on how well you are off financially. If we're going just by the option of you having 405 a month if you don't do anything, that's not so good. So this is what I have in retirement now. And so, yeah, so that's it. So, yeah, you got to work longer than 59 and a half, my friend. I'm sorry. I'm in that boat too, so don't feel bad. But yeah, the older you are when you start these steps, the more you have to work. And so there's no fire, there's no fixed income retire early. No, you got to work longer. So, yeah, and in working longer, you will have 10 years in the market, and so you will have time to take advantage of that. But definitely do not do the taxes right now and do the 10% or penalties, and that way you get the most going into the 401k, which will be invested in the market, and then hopefully that's going to earn you more than 10% average a year. But that's that's going to be all you can do. So work as much as you can until then. I do Roth 401k if they have the option to do that, because that would be taxes on. Actually, that would be a tax. I don't know if pension contributions are tax advantaged or not. So I don't know. If they are not tax advantaged, then there won't be any problem. If they are, if there is no tax on the contribution to the pension, then you will have a tax event going into a Roth account. So maybe you have two of them. If they offer a Roth, you open a traditional 401k with them, and you roll over that money, pension money, to it. And then any new contributions go into the Roth 401k would be the thing to do for that. Breath Brilliant 5884. Thanks everybody that's watching. Much appreciated. Either live right now or in the future. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Am I doing 30 man? This is a burner account. Alrighty. I have been really wanting to trade in my car for Model Y. I believe that's going to be a type of Tesla, I think. With trade-in, it will cost me about $18K. Doing trade-ins, you're dealing with a dealer, so you're not going to get as good a deal as if you do private sale. So I would look for a private sale one. Recently lost about 25K in the stock market on options. This is why we don't do options. You don't do that. There's no day trading. Not advised. Do not do that. Warning. And now I'm second guessing the Tesla purchase. Yeah, you don't need it. My wife thinks we are doing fine. Yeah, okay, so let's pretend you're doing fine. You don't need to upgrade car. Let's see, make about 500K a year. Okay. 30 man. My spouse makes 31F, makes about 80K. Okay, so 580K a year. Yeah, most people are gonna think that, well, what is your problem? You make 580K, so you must not have any problems at all. Okay, but here's where they see the problem is when you make 500K a year instead of, say, 60K a year, something like that, then your expenses go up, and usually the amount of debt goes up as a much higher percentage of your income than it does for somebody that makes less money. For example, let's talk about said expenses. 2 kids in private school, about 3K a month. Is that each or for both of them? We have no debt other than our mortgage. Okay, 600K house, 400K mortgage. Okay, so that's 200K equity there. So not a millionaire, so can't get a don't buy a new car. That would not be a new Tesla. Live in a low cost of living area. Well, that is great. Then that's more things where you should have no excuse for anything being a problem. 200K in 401K. Where'd it go? Combined. Focused early on paying off debt. We're now putting 15% away. 300K in liquid savings and some stock. Okay, the 300K in liquid savings goes to the house. All right. Again, are any of the people, are they even reading the baby steps once? Are they looking over the baby steps once? Baby step 3 is grow your $1,000 savings into 3 to 6 months of living expenses for your fully funded emergency fund. That says your fully funded emergency fund. It does not say save $300,000 extra. It does not say that. That goes on your mortgage. Put that on the mortgage, sell the stock, and then the mortgage is almost paid off. And then from there, if you're on step 7, then you can save as much money as you want. And 300K is a lot to be liquid. Even if you were already on step 7, that should be at minimum in high yield savings, but better in the market. But yeah, single stocks, sell those, liquidate the liquidity, the 300K, except for your emergency fund. Should just have emergency fund. Those would be the problems more than worrying about a freaking car. And so you would have to pay that. But I'm getting to step 7 before I'm doing I just want it upgrade to a vehicle. Did not say anything was wrong with the previous vehicle. So don't do freaking dumb stock options anymore, Mr. Lose about 25K. That's not good. Even if you make 500K a year, that's still not fun to do. So not advised. So you're doing several things wrong. But with that big shovel, you can make it right very quickly. And also the savings, instead of that being already spent on cars or other junk like that, and that you have it in savings still. So this is easily correctable in this person's case. Also, budget. If you haven't budgeted before, budget. A lot of times the higher earners, they don't budget because they think they got plenty of money to cover everything, so they don't have to worry about it. You need a budget. Dave has a budget every month. Arnold A. 2024 Creative Debt Payoff Representation. What are some cool ways that you got family involved with the debt payoff to keep them engaged? I've seen the chats and spreadsheets, but that's not super engaging. You could have it where you have, you're talking about involving the family, if you wanted to involve like the kids and stuff, you could have them add like something to the amount, like every amount you pay off, they get to add it or color something in on the way to, on the chart that gets that up to the debt-free amount. You do that. I mean, any number of things. And I'm sure if you just Google that, I'm sure there will be any number of great ideas that you can steal. Let's see. Whoa, baby, it's Ray. All right. Come in, Ray. I think he can hear you, Ray. It's from Ghostbusters. Is it really possible? Yes, it's possible. Let's see what it is first. Financial stability just seems so far out of reach right now. Well, I mean, it's a paradigm shift for a lot of people. And so you're going from the dumb way that you do stuff now and the too much spending to not spending money on anything. So just like the guy down here that says 35K is insurmountable, it's not. You just need to find out where your extra $2,300 a month is going to and cut most of that crap out until the debt's paid off. And you have a full emergency fund. And then guess what? Then you can budget in whatever you're blowing that money on now instead of sending it to pay off the debt. All right, so just started the book. Excellent. I'm assuming, that they are talking about the Total Money Makeover. And that just got a new version. Let's see. Let's do products. Where is there books? Nope, I guess that would be store. Where's the store? There it is. Store books. Boom, boom, boom. All right. New edition, Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover, updated and expanded edition. And so I don't know what's in that. Would love to know what's in that. I might get that from the library at some point. Or even buy it. Who knows? So let's see if they have any other thing going on with it. Updated statistics and examples. That's fun. Updated and expanded financial advice on topics such as mortgages and car loans, investing for retirement, and paying for college, buy now, pay later, and payday loans. Spoiler alert, that's going to be a no from Dave Dog. Access free budgeting tools, including a QR code for 3 free months of the premium version of every dollar budgeting app. For new users only. They're hip to you. Not, oh, I already have it, but I want to get the promotion too. That doesn't happen most times. New York bestseller, Times bestsellers already helped millions of people. Exactly. Recognize and overcome the 10 most dangerous money myths. Break the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Pay off all your debt and never go back. Build savings for unexpected expenses and emergencies. Save and invest for retirement. So, are you ready to transform your relationship with money? It's time for your Total Money Makeover. All right. Oh, and there's a nice video. I'll watch that later. I did not know there was a video on it. And so, yeah, that just happened. I believe in May that was released. And I want to say like February or March. This is Ramsey's 7 baby steps. If you look under products, it says 7 baby steps right there. And so that's what comes up if you click that. And there's no dollar amount here. You don't have to buy this. You can follow this without buying it. But in February, one day when I was doing my shows, Ramsey Show, After Show, and this show, when I do that, I always bring this up so I can refer to it. And one fine day, there was baby step 3B written here and everything. And so I thought, and then the next time I did the next show, I brought it up and it wasn't on there anymore and hasn't been on there since. So I thought, oh, maybe in May when they release the new version of Total Money Makeover, they'll have that, they'll update this then. And then it just got put there early. But not yet, so don't know what that was all about. So, but somebody jumping the gun apparently by putting that graphic on there early. All right. So I'm assuming that's what the book that they mean, and that would be the best book to start with if you are, early 20s or younger. Maybe you relate more to George's book instead, Breaking Free from Broke, but otherwise, but I mean, there's not going to be a problem with difficult words and such. They are very easy reads. All of the books that they put out are very easy reads, very easy to understand. And so very quick reads as well because of that. Let's see. Started the book, and I feel the way I've always thought about money has changed. Okay, which is half the battle, indeed. But my fiance, beep beep, was just laid off. Oh, okay. So being laid off is better than doesn't agree with any of this crap. So laid off because you can get a better job, probably easier than you can get or get a new job, better than you can shift your paradigm from thinking that, oh no, debt is the way to go. Always going to have a payment, that kind of thing. We are thankfully current. Okay, that's great, but it's looking like not for long. Fiance's got to, first of all, should not have should not be living together, should not be married. I mean, should definitely be married, should not be living together before marriage, should not be combining finances before marriage. But anyway, we're thankfully current, but it's looking like not for long. And get a job today. You can get a job if you want to get a job. You can't wait in this situation. You can't wait until you get the perfect opportunity. So you cannot do that. Apparently, no 6-month emergency fund. If you had a 6-month emergency fund, maybe. But still, you shouldn't be laying around. If you get laid off, new job. If you knew you were going to be laid off, then you should already have something waiting in the wings to go to immediately. But a lot of people don't do that. They like to just take the vacation time after being laid off. Let's see. I keep thinking we're going to have to use a credit card or if something doesn't happen soon. Well, you don't do that. You don't do that. You just stop spending money on anything except necessities and minimum payments. Seeing these stories gives me hope, but hope won't feed my kids. I don't know if I need advice or wisdom or what, but I haven't been able to shake this sick feeling in days. Yeah, you know what would help? If the fiance got a freaking job. Again, doing it wrong, shouldn't be doing all that, but even if fiance was on his or her own, I think if there's a Ray, maybe this is a female, but then fiance, if even they were living on their own and stuff wasn't combined as it seems like it is, they would have to get a job as well. So that is what needs to be happening. Let's see. Whatever happens, I will never feel like this. Again, okay, that was all. That's what I don't like when I open it up and it's just one more word extra. See, crazy. Okay, but yeah, so get a job, budget, cut out all non-necessity things. Because I mean that's a storm mode. Let's just pretend you're doing it right and you're actually married. And if you need both incomes or if that's the only income, there's got to be a new job the next day of whatever you can get. And then you can try to find a better job after that. But definitely money coming in immediately as soon as possible. So it is really possible, but you can't have fiance just chilling after being laid off. Get a job. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter. Take a job that you think you're too good for. They are out there, definitely. Wandering aimlessly, 9 generator pay / finance. Okay. So, we are in the process of getting a whole home generator for hurricane season. That was a requirement to agree to move to the coast. A requirement of who? So if you guys made that, if you guys, a married couple makes that decision, that was dumb if you don't have a way to pay for it. Dumb. of one of the spouses to agree with the other spouse, because I don't know if do you look at the baby steps? Does anybody look at them? We technically have we technically have the money to pay cash for it, but it will make everything super, super tight. Have it be tight then. You need to cut your budget more. We won't even have a 1K emergency fund anymore. Getting a whole home generator is not an emergency, so that would not come out of your emergency fund. You're not being smart financially here. I had 2 months emergency fund saved up and 75% saved up for the generator. Car needed $1,500 in work, and the HVAC died. Yeah, stuff happens. Luckily, we have on warranty, so the 10K plus HVAC is now costing a little under 4K. Okay, long story short, that ate up most of our savings. For the generator, the cost will be about 16. Yeah, no, that was when the agreement was when you were going to pay cash for it. So there's no financing it. No. Cost will be about 16K to run natural gas. Can't have propane here. Not an option. And get the generator installed. Here are the options. Pay cash and put $500 a month back in savings to replenish the emergency fund. It's not an emergency. You cut all unnecessary expenses and you pay cash for it that way. For the rest, it will be some variation of X amount down and finance the rests. Nope, that's not an option either. You find another way to do it, or you wait until then. You don't need any heat until then. So you can't have propane. And if you have an electric stove, if your stove runs on electricity, oven runs on electricity, you don't need gas till winter. So people freaking out about nothing all the time. And you're moving to the coast. If this is one of America's coasts, guess what? It's going to be hot for a while. It's warm. You do not need the gas for heat. Maybe for water heater is possible, but again, there's no doing it the way you're doing it. You're doing it wrong. Finance about 3K. Nope, no financing. Finance more. Nope, no financing. The other options at 5%. See, the interest doesn't matter if you don't do any financing. Here's my logic. I'm leaning towards option number 2, 3K for 6 months because ... They tell you to have as much cash on hand when the power is down so you can still buy groceries and other necessities. We still have 4 weeks of groceries and water on hand. What coast are you on that is going to be this bad? We have 4 weeks of groceries and water on hand. We have 2 medically fragile children, and so am I. So power is a must. My oldest passes out if she gets too hot. Why'd you move to the freaking coast then? Why not move to somewhere where it's cooler? Everything you're doing here is wrong. If I get too hot, my resting heart rate is 150. Plus, my youngest and myself have meds that require refrigeration constantly. I'm torn between the no debt and having cash in a grid down situation. Let's face it, a hurricane is a grid down situation. Yeah, and if there's a hurricane, that's an emergency. Because you didn't know that's coming. Except if you're in Florida, guess what? One's going to be coming. So you do need to have be prepared for that. And that doesn't mean move there. Not moving there would have been the best thing to do that. And so all of this is like, well, we made an agreement to buy this. And then we had car problems and so forth. Right. This is life happening to you, but you are making it more difficult by allowing debt to be a part of the situation. So this person's going to do what they're going to do, but none of it is what Dave would recommend. In my humble opinion, you're doing it wrong.
Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know it.
No. Should not have moved in that situation. Especially when you got to talk somebody into the, sorry, trying to get back to, there we go. Especially when you got to talk somebody into moving there to the East Coast, which requires an expensive item to be bought. Dumb. Queasy Witness 6188. High and zero interest credit card. Payson question. I don't know what Payson means. Payson. I have 3,500 left to pay down on mixed type credit cards, which if I keep to my schedule, will have paid off by December. Okay, excellent. Make it happen. I have zero savings. You should have $1,000 emergency fund. Again, people, take a gander at the baby steps. At least take a glimpse at them. I scraped by on disability and widow's benefits at 59. Well, in July. To pay all my expenses. So, I mean, starting into this month, I guess. Down to leaving about $20 emergency cash accessible. And that's, again, it's $1,000 emergency fund is step one. I mean, there's step two, get current, do budget, bunch of other things, get on the same page with spouse, widow's benefits, so no spouse. Let's see, being that I have a fixed income and wanting to buy a small home, a fixed income buying a small home, that might not be able to happen. That might be very, very dumb. Near where I live for around 50K, of which there are plenty, but prices are really rising quite rapidly the last few months. Yes, indeed. I am afraid if I wait a year to build savings for a down payment of 10% max for a first-time home buyer, 10% is allowed by Dave, but it does have to fit in with your income, and I don't see that happening. It's possible it will, but depending on what that income is. I will have my interest charging credit card paid off next month. Excellent. I need to have the non-interest ones paid off. Interest-free through July 05 and September 06 and carry 75% of the balance. Of course they do. And so, I mean, just moving it from card to card and pushing it down the road is not the advice. So my query is this: should I pay off all my cards by end of the year and not run up any more debt? Yes. Pay it off faster than end of the year if possible. And have only 1,500K for a down payment? No, there's no buying a house. You pay off all debt. You cannot buy a house with debt. None of it says, let's take a look at the baby steps again, shall we? It does not on here, just like I told you before, but baby step 3B is where you save the down payment. So you are having all debt paid off and a full 3 to 6 months. 6 months is what I recommend before you buy a house, because there are associated emergencies extra that can happen with a house. And so you're doing it wrong. So that's going to be a no from Dave, Doug, again. To find, secure a home, not move on yet, that'd be an additional thing. Before giving notice at my apartment. No, you're still renting until all the debt's paid off. Sorry. Or carry only the balances of, nope, you pay it all off. Need a good sounding board. You could call Dave. You could read the baby steps and then get your answer from there, as I just showed you. And maybe there's 3 comments here. Maybe one of them pointing this person in the right direction. I believe option 2 is one of those sound options. Then I could actually put to use the 0 transfers on a... You're just moving around is not helping you. And trying to get a house too early when you're financially not stable is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. But paying those off in one lump sum won't hit my credit reports until after the house purchase, so I don't know how my credit will be affected. Doesn't matter at this point. You shouldn't buy one. Thanks out there for your help. Peace out and be well. All right. I guess I could check let's check to see. You're not in position to buy a house. Exactly. Unfortunately, yep. And somebody else chimed in. Unfortunately, this is the answer, OP. Exactly. You can't afford to buy right now. Cool, cool, cool. Everybody agrees. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. So I don't know what the payson is again here. Probably the typo, some kind. Pay off, maybe. Oh, see, it's different than the pay off is different than pays on. The penny hoarder. Oh, that's a promoted one. See, they try to get you. I'll read it anyway. Why not? What is a rich person's money tip you wish you knew sooner? To live on less than you make, and all of what these baby steps say. And I did know of it sooner, but I was dumb and did not do it as soon as I found out about it. My life would be quite financially different at this point had I. Nope, I listened to him in my 20s every night and thought that it didn't apply to me because of the money that I make. Dumb. I was dumb too. So no shame in being dumb. You just have to get smart eventually, and the earlier you do that, the better. And so that's why I don't have any qualms about saying something is dumb or calling people dumb, because I was dumb myself, so I know it. Takes one to know one. So I can speak, I can testify to that. Absolutely. Queasy Witness 6188, mixed APR, credit card payoff, savings, and potential home purchase while disabled and on fixed income. Is that the same person? It is. And the answer is still a no, dog. No matter how you write it, the answer is still a no. What in the world? Did she think the other one didn't go in? And copied and pasted it too. So I don't know if there are any changes between those. I wonder if okay, I gotta do it. Gotta do it. I wonder if the advices are the same. Yeah, no, 3 different commenters. Same thing. 3 different commenters on it, but the same thing. Yep, same thing. People tell her that. So not able to ease into justification station on the Reddit. Everybody responding, and that's 6 different people now, unless it's people with this different user IDs, of course, which it could always be. 6 different people gave the correct advice. So that's 100% Dave advice on this particular question. And that is rare. Cesticles, frequent post, not frequent, but I have seen that name before. So at least one other time. My phone died. I need a new one, but don't want to use emergency fund. What's the best option? Let's see, 27-year-old, debt-free, have 4+ month emergency fund saved. My phone unfortunately died today. I need a phone in this life, obviously. You can get around, get around without it. But here you go. Let's see. Let me read the rest of it before answering. And whilst my previous one was an absolute bargain, I did struggle with it for the 3.5 years I had it. I now need a new one for work and life, and whilst I do not want to spend it, I'm not going bargain hunting, so I am in the same situation I am now. Well, that's your fault if you spend too much on phone. I'm currently looking at a $509 phone. That is where you're being stupid. Dumb and stupid. This one was 150-ish, and I got a nice fun red like case, kind of like Iron Man armor, that kind of thing on there. Isn't that fun? But yeah, this one, fine. It's about, I think, $170, I think. And my carrier is Mint Mobile, $25 a month. So this is like somebody that wants to go out to eat, and I would go to Taco Bell and they want to go to a 5-star restaurant. And so you're just trying to be too richy. So you don't need to spend that much money for a phone that does everything. I've sworn off debt entirely. Great. But there shouldn't be any but there. The Senate should end right there. But given this situation, I saw a 0% APR buy now, pay later option for 24 months at 2021. $21.21 per month. I thought you sworn off debt entirely. Make up your freaking mind. This would be able to be paid off early. Doesn't matter. It's still debt. You're doing it wrong. And will help my credit score. We don't care about credit score. Well, then why did you bring it up? So dumb. People are so dumb. Is this doable or should I just use the emergency fund? You get a cheaper phone. And this feels like an emergency of when your car breaks down and you have to get it replaced or where I don't have a car, but feel like it's in the same bucket. If you want to qualify it as an emergency, fine, but that doesn't mean you overspend on the emergency. That doesn't mean you get a $500 freaking phone. You can get a phone less than $200 that will do what you want it to do. You just got Apple in your eyes or something. You're just you just want the expensive phone. Let's see. We'll be buying a phone. Oh, edit. We'll made the decision. I guess we'll be buying a phone using an emergency fund. Part of the emergency fund, hopefully. Have managed to find a Pixel 8 for $380. That's better, but that's still too much in my opinion. Additionally, I mentioned to my boss that my phone died to ask how I could possibly use it for tax benefits. He advised, you need a phone, we'll buy it for you. So this was all of it. Right. Okay. That's cool as well. I had that happen as well. A previous boss of mine was getting a new phone. And he saw my phone that was old and it was fine. I did not need a new one. But he said, if I buy a phone for you, will you use it? And I said, sure. And so he bought that for me. So that was like kind of like a bonus. So that was fun. And when I eventually replaced that one, I bought this one again, like $178, I think. Family that is delusional. So people justify all kinds of things. Family that is delusional. That does happen. Again, Boundaries is the book. Dr. Henry Cloud is the author. Learn it, know it, live it. This from Kitty Cat 34. Meow. I really need help dealing with delusional ... or maybe it's just clueless family or both. Every time I visit certain family, I have to listen endlessly about how broke they are, how many months past due they are on X bills, etc. Spouse and I give them suggestions on how to cut costs. Of course you do. People are dumb. You just got to accept that people are dumb. Let's see, like sell the RV they haven't used in 8 years and still owe money on. In next breath of how bad their finances are, they move on to talking about, I would go back. I would say, well, you haven't used the RV in 8 years. So you need to sell that. And then your finances wouldn't be as bad. And then they move to talk about a big vacation you want to take. No, you can't do that. Remember, you just talked about, that I would do that a little bit with them. And after that, I would talk about something else. I would move the conversation to something else. Or you don't hang out with them that long if that constantly comes up, because that would be infuriating to me. I would eventually have to say, well, you're not being smart by doing it the way you're doing it. I can explain to you how to not be in that situation because I am not in that situation because of the steps that I've taken in my life. And you could do that as well, but it doesn't seem like they want to. Let's say I try to bite my tongue, but it's so hard. I leave every visit feeling frustrated. Yeah, you can't save everybody. That's the issue with this. And also, as far as this advice, you have to accept from the beginning, if you are trying to pass on this, if you are just somebody who has done the advice, or if you are a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, you have to accept that most people are not going to do this stuff because they do not want to sell the RV they don't even freaking use because they're dumb. Or because they just want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have They want to have all this stuff, and then they don't want to owe any money on it, which they do, and they don't want to have to sacrifice to pay it off. So that is, you got to accept that. Most people are not going to take good financial advice. Anyone have any wisdom? You just have to realize that that's going to happen ahead of time. And, you can bounce out. If they start talking about that, you can leave the room. Maybe not make your visits as long as they are. Yeah, I care about them, obviously, but they don't seem to want to get out of their destructive financial patterns. On baby stick 6 for reference. Yeah, I mean, you just be the good example. And I mean, you can explain, how you've done it. And after that, if they don't ask any more questions about how to do it or ask for help, you just have to let them go. You just have to let them flame out. Let them hit rock bottom. Some people have to hit rock bottom, unfortunately, before it's time to get. Let's see this. Let's just let them be poor. It's hard, but you're not the arbiter of their decisions. That's right. So yeah, boundaries again. So you don't let it affect you. You've done everything you could. You tried, and you can keep trying. But like mention it once per visit, and if they don't say, yeah, we'd like some help with that, we'd like to hear what you did, that kind of thing, then you let it go. And it's not you don't have to feel like it's your responsibility because you did follow the advice and you're in better shape than they are because of following the advice. It's not your fault that they didn't, you're going to know people that aren't doing this advice and that are in worse financial shape than you are. That is going to happen. And you just have to accept that fact. You have to embrace the reality of the situation. But yeah, Boundaries might be a good book to read if you are having problems with this kind of issue. And it also helps if you don't care what people think when it's something dumb as this, even if it is family or friends. One Elephant 3476. Rate my budget. All right, can't wait. I'm going to go ahead and open it on up. Rate my budget. Here we go. Let's go. Hoping to get some feedback on my budge. See a link at the bottom. My wife and I, 31 and 30, have a 7-month-old baby. She left her job to become a stay-at-home mom immediately after maternity leave. I want to set my family up for future financial success, and I think I have a good plan. I just want some feedback from other folks. Additional info. I know the grudgy budget is high. I work from home, so all 3 meals are typically at home for both me and my wife. That should make it cheaper because you're not going out to buy any takeout. So that should even make it cheaper. So that's no excuse. Have autoimmune disease, so eat a lot of high protein, whole foods, and that won't change. That's fine. Look for cheaper ones of that. That's also why medication expenses so high. Health insurance, take out a paycheck. Okay. Yearly bonus, 35K, 5K. The rest will be saved, invested in VTSAX. I think that's a Vanguard index fund of some type. I don't know if that's S&P or not, but that's not how that works. If you want to follow Mr. Ramsey's advice as far as investing, let's see. I want the RV gone. Oh, good. Maybe you talk to the other people. Biggest financial we've made, lived in it while we fixed up the house. It's worth about 8 to 10K less than we owe. You sell it immediately. So what you can do is you get a 10K loan, and that replaces the much bigger loan you have on the RV. Dave is fine with you doing that, taking out lower loans to get rid of something you're underwater on that has a much larger loan than the new amount you're taking out. House is about 320, 340 in equity. I put about 200K into the remodel. Shouldn't have done that unless the house was paid off. Gym membership and the other debt as well. You had the RV debt as well. So you're doing it wrong. Gym membership includes group training membership, burn boot camp for both of us. Currently about 10K in emergency fund. You have debt. You should only have $1,000 while the RV is there. So get rid of the RV. Guess what? Oh, look at that. 10K in the emergency fund. You can put 9, which is right in the middle of that. So you can put that to that and then sell the RV gone. You said you want the RV gone. Prove it. Dumb. Roth IRA, 62K, 401K, 40K. So you're only doing 15%. You're not saving extra at this time. Only once you get out of all debt. And then you only have the full emergency fund is all your savings until your mortgage is paid off. So you're doing it wrong. Okay, it is only debt. So yeah. Anything left over each month in the contingency category will be put into VT tax. Is there anything we should change? What should I do with the RV? You sell it and take the loss? Yes. Stupid tax. You don't try to rent it on outdoorsy. You don't do that stupid, dumb crap, prolonging your debt. You're trying to get rid of it immediately. And so we don't get to see it. Oh, let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. Jesse is a friend. Okay, 401k. Total. The 401k is not income. You're doing it wrong. That's not income. I mean, have you subtracted that out of this 8,400 already? So you're doing it wrong. That is not income. That is actually an expense at this point. It only becomes income when you retire and you withdraw it. So basic understanding problem. The savings, there should be no Vanguard account. Nope. 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 You're doing it wrong. Should chest be and it definitely shouldn't be more in the brokerage account than in the retirement account. So you're doing it wrong. Let me make that bigger. There we go. That way you guys can see it better probably. House payment $999. Fund money $400 for each a month. 100 extra a week. You know, if you were on step 4, I would still think that's a bit much, but that's the first time I would let that happen. Not while you owe a freaking RV payment of $382 a month. That is ridiculous. Water, electricity. Electric seems a little high. I don't know how many. I think they said they had. You could. Auto insurance, phone, internet. Could possibly chip some off of there, but probably not much. Auto, gas. I don't know what the else is for the auto. That include like oil changes or whatever as well. Groceries, $800. It's $200 a week. So yeah, I don't care what kind of high protein thing you're on. You can find cheaper food, most likely. Restaurants, that's a no while you have this RV debt. You're doing it wrong. Toiletries, $300 a month. $300 a month. Gym membership, $300. No, that's too much. You stop all of this dumb crap while you pay off that. Hey, I figured out why you haven't paid off the RV yet. Figured it out. Medications, fine. Get a pass on that. Sanitation. Hair. Pet care. YouTube TV. Netflix. Get rid of the Netflix and just have the YouTube TV. But yeah, you're just spending way too much money. So at least this contingency, that should be going not to this Vanguard dumb account. It should be going to your debt. You're doing it wrong. in a lot of ways. So let's see, 13. Got to see, so sell the RV. Exactly. You're doing very well. The only thing, not so much. Need to tighten up that budget. The budget. My soul hurts. If your soul hurt, you would have sold it already by now. Quit bull essing. You don't want to bull ess a bull esser. I would cancel the gym membership. Yep, work out at home, sell the RV, cancel YouTube TV and Netflix and watch freebie on YouTube. Yep, stop eating at restaurants. Whatever fun is being had for $800 a month needs to end. Then increase the emergency fund to cover 6 months' expenses, especially since one of you are working, then pay off the house. The only thing I would add to that is stop doing a freaking brokerage account. 2, on top of that. And shouldn't even be doing 401k. While you have that RV debt. But if you can cancel the RV debt very quickly by first selling it and getting a smaller loan for the difference, and then you are still on scorched earth while that's being that smaller loan is being paid off, and then you can do your full emergency fund, and then you can budget in some restaurants and fun stuff, etc., etc. But you're doing it wrong. No vacations. Yep. Sell the RV or pay it off. Can I not sell it and just pay the remaining balance out of pocket upon selling? Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you have it in pocket, yes. But also, on top of that, while you save a full emergency fund, you're also need to cut out that stuff. Step-by-step guide. I wonder why they did that. Selling RV when the value you have to, and you have the cash to cover the difference, involves a few extra steps to the decode guide to help you through the process. All right. And you just eliminated 95% of your potential buyers. Yeah, it can be done, but almost no buyer. Yep. Step 8 is not necessary, by the way. Yeah. If you get this from a lender, this payoff guide, you got to be skeptical of that. If selling RV, if you're strictly following the Dave Ramsey rant, you wouldn't be doing any of this dumb crap you're doing before. That's not what I said, but I added that. So, yeah, again. So, if you read the baby steps and you want to follow Dave's advice, you can't really say, well, I can't make that fit in with what I want to do, so I'll just forget about that. But I'm going to definitely ask for advice on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Alrighty. Planet Rez TV. Pay off card fully or mostly? Mostly. I do need to get that clip from Aliens. That would be fun to put in these cases when there's most or mostly on it. Payoff card fully. Hello, everybody. Hi, guys. I'm new to Dave Ramsey and have been listening to him a lot lately. Then what's this payoff mostly? What does that mean? I'm on baby step 2 and I have a long way to go, but paid off one loan. It starts with 1. Excellent. I'm about to pay off a second one. Excellent. My question is this. I have a John Deere credit card with 0.9% interest that has a $2,300 balance. I currently have $25 in savings and another $5,000 in checking. Me and my wife, that's my wife and I, make about $5,000 a month gross, although is only one L in although, and also it's one word, not 2 words. I'm in sales, so some months it can be rough, and my monthly expenses come out to about $3,500 to $4,000. You cut expenses because you have debt, so you're cutting expenses. Going scorched earth to the bone. Do you pay it off in full now? You pay it off in full now. You keep $1,000. $1,000 extra is all you should have beyond what your expenses are. $1,000 is the only amount. Every other bit of cash you have goes to the debt. So you don't just throw a chunk at it. You pay it all off if you are in a situation to. You do not take any less You don't take any money out of this $1,000 to pay the last $90 on it. You don't do that. You just wait till next month and you get it next month. You keep this at $1,000 at all time. If you have an emergency, you use it and then you get it back to $1,000 before you spend money on anything else except absolute necessities. Roth versus 401k. C. Shamoon or Shamoun one. This episode of Answering Your Financial Questions brought to you by Crinkly Water Bottle. Use promo code CSM. Roth versus 401k. Hi there. Hi guys. I'm curious about your opinions regarding 401k versus Roth. So I'm a bit behind on my Roth. I always knew that Roth is preferred and told myself I will begin investing once I purchase my home. Meanwhile, I contributed the minimum for a match to my 401k with my employer and kind of just forgot about it. I know, not Dave Ramsey kosher. No, you got to be intentional about anything with money. I'm working on it. Okay. Too long didn't read. Would you still go hard into Roth IRA and just go up to the maximum match on your... Not in that order. You go match, then Roth, and then back to that traditional 401k. So you do the match, and you do the match because the match is 100% rate of return. So you do the match first. And then after that, then you max the Roth IRA for the year, and then anything extra for the year, then that goes back into the traditional 401k. So that's how that works. Would you still go hard? Yeah, you do go hard. You do max that out before you would max out the 401k. Before you would put 1 cent more in it than you need to get the match. The full match that they will give. Can't help but feel like for me, okay, so the problem is you gotta, on things like this, on like money and numbers and stuff, you gotta think. You can't feel like anything. Feelings don't matter with numbers. I should just capitalize on compound interest rather than start from scratch again. How is that from scratch? You're not cashing out the 401k, so what are you talking about? I think this person doesn't know how math works. So, I mean, the 401k, okay, let's say that has $10,000 in it. So for that, you should get your match. Put enough in it to get the match. But then after that, the next dollar after that, whether it goes into, I want to call him Honey or her. Honey, if the next dollar that goes into it, either account, if they're in the same mutual funds, they're going to make the exact same money. So you're not losing any compound interest by it not being added to the higher total account. So, doesn't understand. 11, let's see. Offer 401k, that's it. Yeah, and that's it. And... Let's see. A lot of people do this thing, but way where the Roth 401k based on your current marginal tax rate and anticipated tax rate in retirement. That's bull crap. You do not want to pay taxes on the growth, which if you have any appreciable time in the market, the taxes on the growth are going to be much more. Even if your tax rate in retirement is lower. Dumb argument. And nobody's pointing out that, yeah, nobody's pointing out. Do both. Right, the benefits of not contributing, and that's why you also prioritize the Roth IRA. So, Bare minimum, get the full match, then max the Roth. Yeah, it doesn't matter from whether you're starting 0 or not. Right, 5%, 5%, 10%, right. So somebody got it. Somebody got it. But yeah, so some people don't know math. That's okay. That's what this kind of thing is for. That's why Mr. Ramsey lets you call him and ask him such questions so that you can be straightened out about stuff like that. Muted direction. Should we stay or should we stay or what is it? Should I stay or should I go now? Should we stay or should we sacrifice? Well, if you are in baby steps 1, 2, or 3, it's sacrifice time, baby. Let's see what we got. Decide to keep renting our apartment or move in with mother-in-law. Oh, okay. Yeah, Dave likes adults to live on their own. A lot of older kids do like to move back in with parents to save money. But that is not advised. Let's see, 25 female, husband 26 male, and 8-month-old baby on step 2. We only have 7K left to snowball, down from 25K. Great, you've already done the most of the sacrificing. So what's the deal? If we stay in our apartment, we'll be out of debt by August 2025. Once out of debt, we'll have $500 a month income to save/invest. We'll make it if we stay in our apartment, but it'll be slower than if we get free stuff from, if our expenses are cheaper than living in with mother-in-law. That's still not advised. Dave likes adults to live on their own. Or we can move into my mother-in-law's spare bedroom for a quarter of our rent. If we do this, we'll be out of debt by December and have $1,400 a month income to save and invest. She wants us to have us, and we'd write up a contract. With the expectations from both parties seems great, but yep, we're gazelle intense. I want to sacrifice to eventually have a home, but I'm feeling a bit of dread at the thought of it. I don't want to be trampled by 4 big dogs when I walk in the door. Yep. You have to change your life when you move back in with parents. We'd be sharing everything with mother-in-law. Yep. I'm worried about our space as a family. Yeah, mother-in-law is a widow for 2 years and very conversational. Likes to talk. I like to talk myself, so I can relate. Worried about her talking to my husband every day and always wanting to take the baby. I don't know what to do. I want to get out of debt, but not sure if this is sacrificing too much. What would you do? Okay, so since this is a married couple, what you guys decide together, what you compromise together, supersedes the baby steps for you guys. That's how this works. So you guys have to come up with the answer yourselves, unfortunately. But if you want Dave's opinion, he likes adults to live on their own. I did that wrong. There we go. Alrighty, let's see. Another 401k question from Soft Gazelle. 8314. No, you want to go intensely gazelle, not soft. I recently left my previous employer and unsure what to do with my 401k. My new employer doesn't offer 401k. 66 years of age and plan to retire at the end of 2025. Should I leave my money where it is or roll over to something else? I mean, it'll probably be fine there since you are going to retire in 1.5 years anyway. You probably don't have to roll it anywhere. Because if you roll it to like a Roth IRA, you would have a tax event on that. And so I would probably just leave it right where it is since you're gonna retire in 1.5 years anyway. But you can always roll it over to something. And you can roll it over to a regular IRA and not have the tax event. So you could do that if you didn't want to leave it. But so that's up to you. But I would be probably inclined to leave it if it's like an employee. The old employer is somebody who's been in business a long time. Doesn't seem like they're on their last legs or something like that, and they'll be there. But again, you can always roll it over to a regular IRA. Mango Pad Thai. On baby step 2 and received a small 30,413 bonus this month. Great. Should I put towards 30K car loan debt or put it towards my upcoming rent expense on a 4-month lease, 1.3K per month for a total of 5K? Okay, so if you look at the baby steps, you're on baby step 2, and so what you do is you apply any extra money to whatever baby step you're on, and your rent expense is not included in the baby steps. You're doing that already. You make the budget in step 0, and so you're paying that already, and you're just putting extra to save for the $1,000 emergency fund. You're just putting extra to pay off all debts, and this is extra, and so this goes on your lowest debt. And so let's see, all of this is unnecessary because I just explained it. I think Dave would tell me to attack the car loan. No, not necessarily. If you have a lower debt, well, yeah, shaming for even taking the short-term lease instead. Yep. You're doing it wrong. So no, rent is not going to be it. You cash flow your rent, because then, yeah, that was dumb doing a short-term lease. Aggravating age 826. Help. I need somebody help. Is it better to sell your house and use the equity to pay off your debt, or keep the house and try something different to pay down debt? It depends. If you're not house poor, then you just sacrifice in a different way. You don't have to give up the house. You have to give up all other dumb stuff you spend money on. Have $170,000 of consumer debt, but only $130,000 of equity in our home. You might have to do something different. You might have to sell the house and go scorched earth and not have anything other than necessities for spending. So the sale of the house wouldn't even take care of all the debt, right? But I mean, it would take care of, most of it, or at least, depending on agent commissions, et cetera. So, I mean, a good, over half of it would take care of. Our income over the past 2.5 years has dwindled down to 40% of what it was. House poor, likely, so got to sell, probably. Had major medical problems we had to address as well, but we need to stop the bleeding of debt and get things under control. Any brilliant ideas out there? Yeah, sell the house, find somewhere to rent, and you are not buying anything that's not 100% a necessity. So, and if you are at an aggravating age, very old, 826, when 826 years old you reach, look as good you will not. So it doesn't say like ages or anything like that, but also the income over the past 2.5 years has dwindled down to 40% of what it was. That's not acceptable. You got to work more. You got to get a different job. Got to get an extra job. Wahi 180. Disagreement about vehicles. My husband and I disagree about what to do about our vehicle situation. You have to talk. Communicate is the first C. The second C is to compromise. Yay! And if you can't do those two things, then the third C is counseling. I don't know how to signal counseling. Yeah, so communication, compromise, and if you can't do those, counseling. We have 3. The third is a spare, a 4-wheel drive truck that has saved us on multiple occasions. When one of the vehicles is at the mechanic, or if we get stuck on our dirt road, you don't have a 4-wheel drive truck just laying around for use on multiple occasions. You don't do that. That is not smart, especially when debt is owed on it. Let's see, all our vehicles are older, very high miles. Last year we bought a house with several acres, and this year we bought a tractor. So much buying. Now my husband is wanting to get a newer truck because it would be something more reliable than any of the current vehicles we have. I want to wait 1 to 2 years since it feels like we're spending so much money. That indeed, what would Dave do? He would not be buying a newer truck. No, 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 no. At least the husband doesn't want to buy a brand new truck. That's good. I also think if we're going to drop 20-30 on a new used vehicle, that it should be one of our daily drivers, not the spare. That's right. He just wants a new truck. It's new truck. He's a man. New truck time. I don't know what to do. I know vehicles are depreciating on them, but we also need them. Yeah, but you don't need a spare. If you get stuck, you can call a tow truck. Get AAA. All the 3 current vehicles. Yeah, currently paid for. You can also use them as is until and then when the next one dies, then you use the 2 that you have as your daily drivers. You do not have to buy a different vehicle. You do not have to have a spare vehicle. That is Richie people stuff. Doesn't sound like you're Richie people, especially since you spent all that money in the past couple of years. So I'm with you on that, but you gotta compromise with hubby. Low commercial 1652. Should I sell my house? Another one. Let's see. Should I sell my home? The home is worth and gonna make this place your home. Home is worth $455,000 and I owe $239,000. Doesn't matter the interest rate, don't care. Ending in 26 years, got a 30-year mortgage. Wonder if you could have afforded the payment on a 15. If you cannot afford the payment on a 15-year fix, then that means you cannot afford the freaking house. That's too much mortgage. Your house poor at that point. No, no, no. Bad people. Bad Reddit poster. Mortgage payment's $1,500 a month. I've been renting it for the past 2 years, but the tenants have moved out. Oh, it's not even. So you don't have any. Also, I'm in the military. You don't buy a house if you're in the military because they could move you. Guess what? And then you get the great idea that you want to be a landlord and rent it out, but then tenants move out and you don't find other ones. So dumb. So many dumbs happening. Thank you for your service, though, obviously. And I have up to 13 years to sell the home without paying capital gains tax. That doesn't matter. The capital gains isn't the problem. The problem is the debt. The debt is your problem right now. I could rent the home for $2,400 per month minus 10% property management fee and $500 a year. Yeah. Which would class $618 a month. $618 a month, and so you're gonna go all through all this trouble and have that debt. You're doing debt leverage. None of that stuff is Dave Ramsey approved. And if you watch this show for 2 seconds, you would know that already. Power attorney for father who can no longer take care of his home. So that's a different one. What's going on with that? Probably. Let's see if there's something else stupid. Which if sold would net an additional $250K in cash that could combine with the sale of my home and other investment funds for roughly $425, $475. Where is father living then? If he has a house, is he living in his house? If he's not living in it, then yeah, you can sell it. Biggest concern being able to afford a nice place once I retire in 9 years. I feel like you can't feel with numbers. Stop trying to feel with numbers. Dumb. Inflation is going to with the way inflation going, a nice place will be $2 million. Well, you're dumb for that. You're dumb for that. You might be a richer place, might be. But something that is $200,000, $300,000 now will not be $2 million in 9 years. So this is you just wanting to be a Richie person, and I don't think you're a Richie person. I think you have Richie person debt. Will that 450 create more wealth with compound interest in a mutual fund, or will the property over my lifetime be a greater source of income? It depends. Dave has made much more from real estate than he has from mutual funds, but also he only buys when it's a fabulous deal for him. So he doesn't do this crap that you're doing. He buys when it's a fabulous deal for him. And he buys in cash, and that means every cent immediately is his, not going to some bank. So you're doing it wrong. Should I use my father's equity? It's his equity. Why do you have the money? Just because you have the power of attorney doesn't mean you get to have the money. Where is this part? Where I need to see my father is living with us now, so he's not even living in that house. Something like that would be good. $1,200 per month on his care the past year. The equity would help pay for his continued care. Sure. Or if he's living in a retirement home or something like that. Sure. Fine. Sell it. I did the math over 10 years. I would get $60K in profit if I kept the rent the same. The house would be worth $604K. Too much math here, and all this and stuff would be investing. You shouldn't have that much debt on you. The problem is the debt on it. If you didn't have debt on it, then it would be, you wouldn't even be asking if you sold it, probably, if there wasn't any debt on it. Is the father's house paid off? Net an additional $250K in cash. Let's see what people are saying. Are you the only child? Yep. Personal opinion, if your rent is more than twice of the mortgage, you will have a positive cash flow. You're at 2.25%. Not going to do better than that. Not quite addressing the big picture, but keep in mind with such a low interest rate, a decent amount of mortgage payment goes to the principal. At the end of the year, it's there in your balance sheet net worth. We were a military family and saw lots of people rent homes out. No, thank you very much. Dave says to not be a distant landlord. Long distance landlord, right. Not sure is the exact term. You were close enough. And this is the one thing I agree with him on 100%. Oh, so very good, CFO6. Glad you agree with Dave on one thing. Cool. Don't sell now. No, you sell now. With that spot, it's your step towards financial independence. Yeah, you don't time it. You get out of the debt as soon as you can. That kind of debt is baby step 2. That's in baby step 2. That's right here. That means that is addressed right now. Some people do say you don't ever sell real estate, and that is the worst freaking advice. House poor. Let's see. Only ones who would recommend closing that mortgage are the bankers, lenders who underwrite those loans, reissue those loans at 7.25% stat. Dave said sell rental properties unless you own them outright or can pay with them in the next 2 years. Yes, exactly. People always want to do scheming and scamming. Always. Alrighty, I guess we'll end it right there. Once again, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions, certified financial coach. And as you can see right there, Ramsey Show After Show. The next one, unknown date, don't know it, but it'll be in the teens, July 15th through the 19th, one of those days. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com. So it's Coach Steve Money. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com if you have any questions about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel. Donations go to paypal.me. So it's Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, you can send donations to Cash App, $ Coach Steve Money, or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, of course, tomorrow and every Saturday and Sunday. That's answering your financial questions at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And as I said, Ramsey Show After Show. The next one will be on one of the days between the 15th and the 19th of July. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And of course, make smart financial decisions every day.